Hello everyone, welcome to Legends on Paper. Our heroes have exited the maw and have been received by a couple of temple knights that were left there by the Duke, anticipating that perhaps they might possibly return. Just in case.
Maybe.
Left there for 3 days. Anyway, it didn't take the group that long to find their way out of the maw. They pretty much exited pretty quickly. Not too many hours after they first entered. But in any case, they did manage to survive the maw and are making their way back under the escort of 2 temple knights to the estate of Duke Banfield Eldorath, where presumably they hope to make a happy report. Or not so happy report based on events. So as we get started this evening, the temple knights lead you through the main great entryway through the estates. It's flanked by the pair of temple knights that are always there guarding the entryway, and then through the long hallway of eclectic, unusual trinkets and baubles that look like they've been collected from all over the world. Presumably great pieces of art, statues and paintings and tapestries and so forth, as you go through these hallways and once again led into this large plush sitting room, where you see lounging on one of the couches the prince himself. The Duke is not there. There doesn't seem to be anybody else in the room other than 2 more guards outside this doorway. But as the doors are opened, your party is announced, and you watch as Prince Arthur Penjago Eldorath kind of hurriedly sits up on the couch as you enter. What would you like to do?
Oh, sit down, dear. We're not here to see you.
He looks a bit startled. I can't believe you returned so quickly, and that you returned at all, actually.
Well, you told us to.
Glad you have. Please, have a seat.
All right.
Bring refreshments. Hurry now. He tells one of the guards. The guard kind of rolls his eyes a little bit. Being a temple knight, not used to being perhaps ordered around like a servant, finds one of the servants inside the hallway, and before too long, you're brought an array of refreshments and drinks to cleanse your parched throat. And as you sit down, the prince looking at each one of you, you can see the injuries still abound on much of your own flesh. He seems concerned. Is there anything I can do to help you right now before you tell me what's happened?
Well, we should probably find your uncle.
He's not here.
Well, that's not very good.
I mean, he's in the city, but he's not here in the estate. He might not be back till this evening. I'll be honest, we didn't expect you to come back at all. Let alone, so quickly.
So you've been sitting here for 3 days for no reason?
Well, it hasn't been 3 days. It's been just hours.
Oh.
We were pretty quick about it.
Oh. In my head, it felt like 3 days.
Felt like 2 weeks to me.
The guards said they were going to wait 3 days, and they were there, so it must have been 3 days.
No, it has to be less than 3 days.
Oh, that doesn't make any sense.
Time's very difficult.
You have some bandages. Yes.
A spot of healing would be nice.
Call for the priest, please. I believe he's in the chapel. And the other temple knight walks out the other opposite door and into the hallway where your familiar leads down to where you stayed the previous night. At this point, it's not very late in the day. Maybe mid-afternoon. As you left, I believe it was first thing in the morning, to enter the maw and delve into its dangers and mysteries, which now you're all too familiar with, and return shortly with the priest of Suna, but it's not the high priest whom you had met previously, but this one seems diligent at his job as he goes around and begins casting cure wounds on each one of you. So tell me, what has happened? What have you seen? What have you discovered? This is the prince talking.
Well, I once discovered a cave.
No. In the mall.
Lots of dead temple knights.
I was afraid of that.
Well, they weren't quite dead anymore.
I'd say more of the problem was that they were the walking dead.
Right. We passed a bunch of dead ones and then we went to hell and we found a bunch of alive dead ones.
Yeah,
The
that.
portal's still open.
And where does it lead? Where's my father gone to? Did you see him?
Your father is in hell. We cannot confirm if he is still there, but that is definitely where he went.
Are you telling me they opened a portal to the infernal planes?
We're telling you that it's still open, and that it's being guarded by some giant, flabby,
Oh, he's a
No,
monster.
not even guarded. Well, yeah, guarded by a big
with
demon.
a meat cleaver about the size of you.
Oh, and he has
Pretty
a
close.
master. He says no one can approach the master's portal.
Which side of the portal is the creature on?
All
Ours.
sides.
I think it would be the left, but only if you were looking at it from this side. If you were looking at it from this side, it would be the right. And if you were looking at it from right in
Hold on,
front, it
one
would
of
be
the lights.
behind you.
Come quickly.
Oh, there were some fiends in the castle too.
Fiends in the castle,
Under the Temple of Sona.
in the mall, the temple. Did you find the priests?
We found parts of them.
Oh, the spiky monster. Tell him about the spiky monster.
Oh, and I pull out one of the spikes.
He reaches
Caught of a devil.
He looks closely at this thing,
Us.
kind of not really handing it over, but kind of showing it to the priest. It's
Does
Can
not
I eyeball
taste
it?
good.
you ate. What?
Well,
Ignore her.
weren't you the one that told me to taste it?
He hands it back to you. Jerome, call up General Alnade. Tell him we'll need the troops inside the city now. I want the mall surrounded. If anything comes out, I need to know about it. And make sure the priesthood is aware of it as well. We're going to need, on our side for this.
Oh, Kiva,
Casters.
tell him about the poop man.
There's something more.
Oh yeah. When we briefly looked on the other side of the portal, well, first of all, we do know what happened to those maidens of Suna that were with the party, and that's that they are now possessed by what looked like or reanimated by some kind of evil sulfurous glow. So they're not alive anymore.
They're probably dead.
They're unalive.
That being
And-
said,
Means it's
A fate
complicated.
worse than death.
Kansas?
Is there anything retrievable?
I'm not sure.
Anyone retrievable?
We didn't find. The only thing that we found alive in there was a leprechaun pretending to be a priestess.
A
A
leprechaun?
leprechaun.
Why would a leprechaun be in the mall?
They're bastards to the last of them. What do you
doubt.
expect?
No doubt.
Stepping foot inside the portal almost killed us, right? So we were there for seconds and we almost burned alive.
It's very hot. Almost, yeah.
How could my father have survived?
Oh, he probably didn't.
And in the center, not too far away from the portal, there was this. Hildy mentioned a giant glob of flesh.
It was poop.
On their side of the portal.
Yeah, well, it was blackened and kind of on their side of the portal.
What were they making?
Something not good.
I think the question is, who were they making?
Who?
They were putting a creature together, reconstructing.
Do you hear this, Jerome? Make sure the general is aware of this. This ups the ante a bit.
Are you writing this down, dear?
Sir Jerome is memorizing everything. Don't you worry, and I will not forget. This is too impossible to ever forget.
I think he should write it down.
Any idea as to how soon this creature might be sorted?
How much had they made, dear?
Memory check. I have no idea.
Roll a history. I know you had a really good perception to actually see it. I think you rolled the highest. And So you were the only one that got a really good view of it, I believe. What's your history?
The -1, I think. No, plus nothing. So that's a sexy 10.
Okay, so
I got
perfectly average.
Yes.
It was a blob. It looked fairly large. As you recall, it was around 30 feet in length, but it was on the ground, and it didn't have a real solid form to it yet. Very globular. So, and the creatures were like sacrificing themselves to make it grow. How far along it was, I mean, you got the vague impression of some, that it might be a bipedal creature, but beyond that, you're not quite sure. It's impossible to say how far along.
It was pretty globular. A lot of the corpses and people and things that were vaguely people but not were kind of just running themselves into it and joining the blob and making the blob kind of like a person.
I've heard stories of the infernal planes and how hellish they are, of course, and the heat and the creatures that reside there. I can't imagine what you must have experienced in the moments that you were inside. It's
Fire,
amazing that
mostly.
you returned.
Couple of stab wounds.
Why aren't they pouring through the portal?
They don't seem. At least said
I would imagine they're probably waiting to build this thing to lead them. Perhaps that's the master.
It doesn't make sense. Did you see any other creatures inside besides the fallen knights and this creature?
a lot of fiends. There were a lot of fiends back there.
Like the spiky one.
Like the spiky one, they were kind of like leading all of the no longer alive people around.
I see.
Did they have bullwhips and they were, quick, get to work, you? Did they do that?
Not quite. I mean,
No.
they were kind of just like leading them around like they were in charge, not like they were telling them what to do at gunpoint or.
I would use a whip. Sometimes I want to use a whip on Howl.
I'm sure the only one who used it is Dakir, and I don't want to think any more about it.
It wasn't a whip, it was a riding croc.
I want to use it sometimes. You sleep too much.
See, you
Can you do it when I don't have stab wounds? But I'm not the brightest when it comes to these kind of things. But perhaps they might just be gathering power until they can take the entire city and perhaps even the country by force.
Oh, that did seem like one of them was trying to like. Remember when we were fighting it in the dark? It kept like pointing and saying weird words.
I think it was. Oh yeah.
Was it trying to? I think it was trying to like grab another one, but kept failing.
It was summoning a monster. You couldn't understand him? No.
Wait, you could?
Well, I thought everybody could.
I was wondering how you kept saying like the thing about the master, and like I figured that's just a weird Hildy thing that you say, but
What language is it?
Common, I would imagine. I understood it very
Hildegard,
plainly.
do you remember any specific words that he said?
Oh, they were bad words. And it was a while ago now.
Oh, yeah. About 2 hours.
No, I don't remember.
Going
I know when he didn't summon his monster friend, he said, Pogmahon. Oh, that was... You should not say that, it's bad.
What is the language of origin of Pogmahol?
Well, today, of course.
Is remembering that correctly?
You can roll an insight if you like.
Pogmahon is Kismaya in Gaelic.
Nice. Oh, natural 20! Oh, that's Celtic.
You definitely get the impression that she's a little bit confused about the whole thing. It's a natural 20, but you don't actually speak the language. So the best that you get out of that is that, yeah, she's definitely confused a bit about why she even understands it.
Used a bit seems to sum up the being journey.
I don't know what you mean.
I go inform the general everything you've heard here. He has everything, all the resources he needs at his disposal.
Really? Are the chickens alright?
Yes. Why
Oh,
would you think-
is Daniel okay?
No, it's like, I know that when we went into the
That's a really good point.
The chickens have been oddly quiet for
There's no-
a while. You haven't heard. I mean, you're just now thinking about them. Obviously, so you haven't heard them. They haven't made.
I'm going into Hildy's
sound.
bag and I'm opening the chicken bag.
You told
As you do, you feel there's this like rush of steam and this incredible scent of roasted chicken.
Does it look good?
It's like European chicken.
And Hal's gonna reach
They
in.
have their feathers on them still. They smell not. I mean, it's a good and bad thing, you know, because you don't normally roast it with all the guts and the internals and you know the entire chicken. So that part of it is definitely a downer. The other side is, you know, you kind of makes your stomach rumble a little.
I reach in and I grab Daniel by the leg, what I assume was Daniel, and as it disconnects, a small tear comes down Hal's cheek.
Didn't we feed them corn?
Lentils.
Lentils, yes.
Oh, I was
Lentils.
popcorn chicken.
Why did you do that? They were fine until you reached into that bag. What
And
did
Hal's actually gonna take a bite.
I'm not much of a, like,
Hold on.
those feathers.
Yeah, here you go. You shall be missed, Daniel.
Tastes pretty good.
Now he'll always be
And it's periodically picking feathers out of its teeth.
Yeah, so they're
Can't
definitely
wait
some
for
good
me.
roasted chicken.
Hildy will just hand Hal the bags.
I was waiting for you guys to ask about those things after you came out of the portal.
I was thinking about it when we made that save, and the blessing saved us.
We had priorities, man.
They were alive until you opened that bag.
Schrodinger's chickens. Yeah.
Some might say they were both alive.
Yeah, they could have come out as undead chickens. Now that would have been something.
Yo.
I mean,
It would be awesome if it came to undead after he had eaten it.
That's true. Yes.
some real
chicken flesh.
indigestion.
Well, I couldn't tell you if I was.
So the prince sends Sir Jerome off to inform the general of what the situation is in the city, and apparently it's very dire. He's very concerned about it. I'm not sure how much time we have, or if I can only imagine the situation must be urgent. Tell me, why did the Raven send you to me in the first place? What history do you have with her that brought you here?
This precedes me.
I literally just met her, like, today. Is it still today?
It's 3 days ago.
It's you stayed the night before, so it's the next day.
It's tomorrow.
In the afternoon.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Actually, I think Hildy got me over.
I think she's the only one who knows. Good luck cracking that melon open.
You know, interesting horse fact, they can flee standing up, so.
I'm crashed against the couch. Like, the horse body's just sort of leaning up the side. I'm just...
Oh, see, he's like half lying down because he's half horse.
That makes perfect sense.
Anyway, Hildegard.
Yeah.
The Raven, her father. I seem to
fat
remember.
man.
Yes.
Yeah.
The fat man.
Yes, I've heard of the Fat Man. I met him, of course, but I understand he's very powerful and very influential throughout the southern and western kingdoms. I also understand that the Raven, or Rascalin is her name, is his daughter. I just don't understand how you fit into this. Are you just simply hired swords?
We're merely pawns in rich men's games.
I don't know what that means.
I mean, we
Spoken like a
don't,
rich man.
we don't know either.
I am very well, anyway.
Low-key flex.
The fat man hired my friends and I to do a job, and then we did a job, but they all died. So then I got new friends. They'll probably die too. But then, once I let them be my friends, the fat man's daughter gave us that necklace to bring to you, and here we are.
So what does she have plans for you next?
I don't know. We're busy.
So where will you? I'm trying to understand if maybe I can incorporate your group, since you seem surprisingly capable.
Oh no, we're not going back there, dear. We're leaving as soon as we get paid handsomely.
Where will you be going?
I'm not telling you because you'll look for us. Don't tell him we're going to Courth.
We're going to Courth.
Oh, you shouldn't have told him that. Now he's gonna send riders to fetch us in our...
You still tell him we're going to Courth.
But I said don't before I said that. It was together. It was, don't tell him we're going to Courth.
Oh, that's what that word means. We're going to Courth.
My uncle was right. I don't know how you made it alive.
We're very stubborn.
It's a very good trait to have. So what happens when are you going to the court of King Francis? Or what are you going to do
I
in
don't
court?
remember. We're looking for part of the Radiant Crown.
The Radiant Crown.
We're really just filling our hope, aren't we?
What is the Radiant Crown?
I frankly don't know either.
At least the creepy uncle.
So the king who never was, after he destroyed Remy, before they smashed a rock down on his ghostly head, he talked to me and he said,
I wasn't there.
I don't remember what he said, something about, we didn't need to get his blood and that we should look for the Radiant Crown. And then they
what
dropped
he
a
meant.
rock on his head.
That's what he meant. You were the ones. I heard about the tragic events in Remy. The king that never was. The blood that... The fool's quest.
Oh, yes, all that. Wait,
Well, what sounds like
are we the fools or are we the quest?
For this one, I think you're the fool. I was the cavalry.
Maybe you were the fool who came to get me on my quest. And then
I'm
we got
checking.
them. Because his dog got eaten.
You're still running down your
You want-
face.
yeah. You want a leg?
Why
Did
do
you
you like your
realize that-
season it enough with your
that,
tears?
Perhaps I'm not the one to tell you this. Now I understand.
Well, it's a little late for that, Prince. Tell us, tell us, tell us.
You went after the blood of the king that never was.
That always works.
And somehow Lord Dormont was released from his tomb.
Well,
His
yeah.
shine came upon Remy with a horde of undead, destroyed the city, killed many civilians.
that happened.
I understand some of those that were sent to on the original quest also died.
That happened too.
It's relatively recent news to me, though, and I think I understand what he was saying then, when the king that never was might have been closer than you thought. He takes a dagger out and he slides it across his palm and he squeezes his palm tight, his fist tight, and you watch blood drip onto a golden tray that there are goblets on for your drinks. There,
I'm not drinking that.
there's blood of the king that never was. My blood. I'm the king that never was.
I thought that would be your uncle, because you're next in line to be king and
Wait.
not.
But I'm not king. Not yet.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. So, there's a wizard or a sorcerer. He's magic. He's very evil. He killed my sister. I'm going to kill him. And I think he stole Arthur when he was a baby and brought him here to this castle. So, Arthur's not really the prince. Are you the bastard child of the king that never was?
No, I'm the child of Count Jago, the Count of, well, It was a long time ago. And yes, I wasn't abducted. I was taken because my father killed my mother, and then he died in battle after being possessed by a demon. In any case, he was at one time the Count of Cambria, here in Lyons, far to the north. And,
Wait! If you tell us all of this, are you going to have to kill us so we don't spread rumors?
no, it's fairly common knowledge.
Okay.
So, I was raised by Queen Penelope and King Eldorath as their child, and I am in fact the next in line for the throne, and I rue the day that I have to take it, which may be closer than I thought. In any case, I understand that there was more of a test to a medal and your capabilities, and it seems like you passed, but also failed in a spectacular way.
Well, I brought the blood back,
You did, and it qualifies. I'll give you that.
so then I didn't fail at all. My dead friends did.
But in
Yeah.
any case, that's
No, just stop it, yes.
so now you're after the Radiant Crown. That I can assure you I don't have any part of or know anything about. So I wish you the best in that endeavor. You're welcome to rest here tonight, of course, and all will be provided for you, all manner of comfort, food, and by this time the priest has gotten along around to each one of you and healed you fully. You still have some exhaustion that you're dealing with from the whole events, events leading up to now, but that, of course, can be remedied with sleep. You can have your same room back, or I can prepare you separate rooms if you like this time.
We'll take those separate.
Yeah.
I don't care. You
But,
don't want to talk all night? Oh,
Probably will anyway.
By now there are a couple of footmen in the sitting chamber, and he directs them to prepare your chambers.
Yeah, but it's cutting your palm open, and that was just a demonstrative.
I was just showing you that the blood of the king that never was closer than you ever thought.
you probably could have told us that without cutting yourself.
Now you're gonna hurt whenever you grab things. It's gonna
No. He just holds out his hand. The priest walks over.
be
You watch it heal quickly. Anything else I can do for you? No, good, thank you. The priest goes on his way. You brought sad tidings and sad news. I don't know what to make of it exactly. I still hold hope that my father is alive, considering the powerful folk that he went into this portal with. Maybe they were able to keep him. If you didn't see my father on the other side of that portal, then maybe he's out there looking for my mother. Still,
Is he immune to fire? Is he fireproof?
I don't know.
Wow.
I'm sure you he's of flesh and bone, but those that he has with him perhaps might be able to, protect them all, at least for a time.
I did remember
It's gonna be hopeful.
getting the spear.
I'm sorry. Just asking the 20-year-old who just lost both of his parents effectively, hey, is your dad flame retardant?
Fireproof.
Because if he isn't, he's going to have a rough time.
Yeah, and you guys know better than anyone. So do you have any questions for him at this point?
What is your uncle doing right now?
I don't know exactly. I know that he had pressing business in the city. He didn't feel any urgency to wait around, of course, as quite frankly, we didn't expect you to come back, at least not so soon. I would like, considering everything you've been through and what information you provided, which is immeasurably crucial to potentially the defense of our city and our kingdom, perhaps. The rings that we gave you, you may keep as my thanks. And of course, the reward that we offered will be waiting.
Where's Merlin?
I would like to know that as well. He was summoned before my father went into the portal, but he is elusive. I've not seen him. I've only seen him one time since, since he brought me here 25 years ago, when I was infant then. Since that time, I've only seen him once. And I don't know how to answer that.
Well, all right then.
My uncle may have a better answer for you, but I know he's quite cross with Marilyn right now because he wasn't there when my father went through the portal. So I suppose there's that. But perhaps in the morning, if you like, you can speak to Duke Banfield further. Maybe he has better answers than I do.
All right. We should probably go to sleep now. They're very tired.
Yeah.
So it's getting into late afternoon, and the
Crying into your chicken.
I finished Daniel.
the footmen take you to your individual rooms, and they provide you with whatever food and drink that you require for the evening, and then you're each left alone.
Before they ask, do you have anyone that can magic things?
Are you asking the prince?
Whoever is escorting me.
Oh, the one of the footmen. He seems unaware of that sort of thing.
Anyone that practices.
Well, there are those around. I could. I'll see what I can find. I'll make some inquiries and see what I can find out for you. Okay. So, anything that you guys want to do during the night?
At the beginning of the night, I'm going to give the spikes to Dakir. If they can't fix it, maybe you can make a new one out of this. Might be helpful.
Hold on to it just in case, but they're important to me as well.
It's
Right.
I appreciate it. Like,
And then when Howell gets back to his room, he's gonna break into the book that he took from the Coliseum. What was
Yeah,
it?
yeah, that was the Coliseum.
Yeah, from the Coliseum office.
So what you do find in your rooms is aside from the plush accoutrements of very nice rooms, is a bag of 100 gold pieces in each one of your rooms.
Yay.
Quite lovely.
And as you want to check on you want to take a look at your book, and anybody else want to do anything?
Yeah. Once we're stationed in our rooms or whatever, Hildy wants to take a look at those 3 scrolls she took.
Okay.
Hildy stole stuff.
All right.
He's going to constantly berate me for doing the same.
What did Hildy? What did Hildy say?
No.
After this mission, we could deal.
And here, are you going to do anything prior to calling it an evening?
so
I can braid your hair.
Oh.
he's sitting there just looking at all the bones, and he just keeps having one-sided conversations as he's going through them. I said I was sorry. Who has a favorite color?
Right. Your sister. That's what you want the mending for. Your sister's bones. Okay. Yes. Yes. That's where
What's my good side?
these tools. Oh my God.
Why you're absolutely not on that? Because why assume you're doing that in your own room?
Yeah, that's in my own room.
And Hildy just followed you in there, and that's why she's braiding it.
Boy, it wouldn't surprise anybody. I don't think. You turn around, Hildy's right there.
That would be
On
on
brand.
par. Yeah.
I mean, that kind of happened last time when the two of you slept together.
Well, she knocked that time.
Oh, you don't need to knock anymore.
I don't know how many times she'll need permission.
It's getting very serious.
She might have
like a vampire.
me
Just-
forever.
Like a
It's
vampire.
the opposite. If you invite her in, she's not coming.
That's right.
There's a certain amount of blanket consent. You know, at least braiding your mane as you're talking to your bones.
So, and Kiva, did you have anything that you wanted to do for getting your rest?
I'm just looking at the sky. I remember that you mentioned that it was like going to be the solstice soon, and just like I'm just keeping an eye on the sky for as long as I can feasibly stay up and like, you know, the standard devotion to Luna, but also just staring really hard.
Yes. So you're a few days away from the solstice still. I mean, you would know because you are a druid of Luna. You would know more specifically than most others that you're about 4 days away before the solstice. So the summer solstice. So that means a lot to you because of
Reasons.
right. So in any case, you're keenly aware of that fact. As far as your small little book, Owl, as you read through it, it looks like a children's book that was written some time ago. It's faded. There are a few illustrations in it, like one on every other page, that are just kind of hand drawn in there. It looks like a unique book. It's a wooden. I mean, there's no printing press or anything like that, but it doesn't. It looks like a lot of care was in its production, so it doesn't look like something that was like mass copied over and over by hand, like some are. And what it is, it's a story about a young elf and how that elf meets a tree, and and it has a conversation with the tree, and then by the end of the book, what you learn. Roll an insight.
I'm actually pretty good at
Do
that.
you learn the moral?
Yeah, no, I'll tell you what you're able to learn.
Well,
12, okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm pretty insightful. Hey,
You know what? You're Sylvan. No, you're not. You're not Sylvan. You're Sylvan. You're not Sylvan. So no advantage on this. Sorry, no advantage for you.
Dygate.
Yeah, so it makes sense that you wouldn't know a whole lot about this, but the elf meets the tree, and then the elf is able to speak to the tree, and this is all written in very childish, simple language, and by the end of the book, the elf is able to convince the tree to take on many shapes. You feel like there's some significance to this, but it's just eluding you. You know, as to what some deeper significance of this might be. And there's also some words in there.
big words.
It's written in you don't, in this world you don't automatically understand everything that you read. You know, it just works with language when you see people, when you're paying attention to people. But it's written in Common Iru. And so this would be, which may or may not surprise you, which is a little bit different, although it's distinct but similar to the primary language of Lioness.
It's like the Harry Potter that was released in the U.S. versus UK.
I have no fucking idea.
Different words.
But I'll take your word for it.
Like,
Different dialect.
Yeah.
Yeah. But close enough that you're able to
I can
follow.
pick up the dialect
Yeah.
a little bit, in a sense.
Germanic language from the north and Germanic language from the south. Technically, they're the same language, and you can sort of understand each other.
Right.
Yeah, I
Beowulf.
would say that's pretty
Translated
close.
Beowulf.
So you get the idea that there's there's more to this book, but you know, that's what you're
The deeper meanings are eluding me at the time being.
Oh, I could ask some elf people.
Hildy, as you go through the scrolls, opening them each one of them one at a time, you're looking at them. You'll have to tell me how your character feels about this, but you're recognizing arcane symbols. You're recognizing these symbols form an arcane language that you understand that would allow you to come together to cast, that form a spell that you could cast from these scrolls. And you're able to identify the type of magic that they would would release. One of them is inflict wounds. And then
That on Howl.
Hey,
let me see that. I'm going to get the exact.
That won't be too bad.
still not nice.
Okay. Another one is called Ritual, which this one you have difficulty really following.
Okay.
It seems like this particular scroll is well beyond your knowledge base of this newly emerging knowledge base that you have. The first one that I gave you, inflict wounds, is fairly simple. The ritual is not simple at all. You're not sure that you can successfully pull that one off. And then the other one is Wall of Thorns, and this you also feel like it may be beyond your capabilities right now.
Understood.
But you can understand it more clearly than the ritual one.
Gotcha.
So that's what those were.
I'll put those away and get some rest, I reckon. Once his mane is all braided nice and pretty, I'll pat him on his head and go back to my room. Go back to my room to go to sleep.
Wait, dear, let me do the tail next.
No, he needs the tail so he can swap flies.
That's true.
Sorry, centaur facts.
Just give him some little tiny braids.
How did everyone get in my room?
You need the door open.
We got separate rooms for a reason.
Okay.
But we're kind of attached now.
We got
The doors were just kind of open. We could hear you.
talking to Bones, reading his own storybook, checking out scrolls, and staring out the window longingly. All right.
At the moon.
I think we're set for the night.
Yep.
We are each the protagonist.
So each one of you have windows that overlook the city, and they're fairly thick. You know, you can tell that they're designed to keep a lot of the noise out from the streets and so forth. Although when you look out, you know, you can see that you're high enough above the main part of the city that, you know, you probably wouldn't hear a whole lot of it anyway. The Duke's, as you recall, the Duke's estate is elevated right up next to the Maw, the main castle, which is the palace of the royals. And even despite the thickness of glass and walls and all that, during the night you hear the constant clatter of movement. And just peering out into the city, you can see that there are hundreds and hundreds of armor-clad men and women, warriors, in the garb of the rampant lion of Lioness that are coming into the city in companies, you know, led by knight commanders and so forth, and then also literal battalions of Temple Knights coming in from different parts of the city, all converging near and around the Maw. And you get the distinct impression just by their movements that they're surrounding it. You see priests with them. You see, you know, they're carrying lanterns and torches and so forth. This is a big deal, apparently, as hundreds and hundreds begin to overnight begin to converge and set up, you know, various lines of defense
To have this
around the
opening is a
castle.
big deal.
Yeah, full mobilization.
Despite that, you do manage to get a complete rest, and by the time the first rays of sunlight come into your room, you've all completed a long rest for the evening, and you have no longer have exhaustion.
Yeah.
Say about able to get my use tools fixed.
No, you were not bothered during the night. The servant didn't come back in. However, at any point in the morning that you open the door, you see a servant standing right there, across the hall, expectantly. And so each one of you have a person standing outside the hall at your beck and call. Whereas before, you had to pull the cord. Right now, you have somebody standing there. Or whatever. And the fellow that you had spoken to before is standing there, you know, waiting as you open the door in the morning, and he's able to tell you that he does know someone that can help to fix things. Well, you just asked me to find out where, could find someone that could do it. I did find out someone could do it. You want me to go find out if they can come here? Or you want me to take him to you? Take you to him?
Let me find out what my party's doing and then
All right, I'll be right here. I'm not going anywhere. Oh, do you want anything to eat? You hungry? You want breakfast? And break the fast? Fucking a salad.
I just close the door.
He's got this quizzical look on his face.
Fucking vegans, man.
As a servant, he probably wouldn't say that. But...
A vegan breakfast.
Tofu and Satan.
So any of you that want food, it's brought to you in the morning. What would you like to do?
Nothing. Hildy will invite her person in. If you're gonna sit there and wait for me, you might as well come on.
All right. I'm not really supposed to come in unless you need something.
I need company, dear.
You need a priest? I can get you a priest.
No. I need you to come and sit in that chair while I sleep because I have bad dreams.
Trying to hold back this feeling.
Okay. All right. But if
Just under the slight underscoring.
I can change that to having you sing for me all night if you don't want to sit.
well, no, it's just that they come looking for me and I'm not in the hallway. What do I tell them? Well, I mean, they'll think I've left.
Yeah.
You see, I'm supposed to be on duty here, outside, your door, in case you need
So
something.
what if I had sent you to get something I needed and they came looking for me? You still wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. You're doing something I need.
He looks down the hall to his right. Stegwick. Wants me to go in. No,
Cedric.
not for that.
You can
That?
come in too if you want, Cedric.
No. He just kind of meekly walks in and slinks over, close to the wall as he can until he gets to the chair and just kind of slides in.
Do you know any good jokes?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, you can tell jokes while I sleep.
I just know one.
All right.
Horse walked into the bar.
Did it hurt him?
What?
Did it hurt him?
No.
You said he walked into a bar.
You didn't know. You want me to sing something then?
Yes, please.
And he begins to sing, like, in this warbly,
Hildy goes to sleep.
uncertain voice. The next morning, you just find him just roll, in his chair.
At some point, Hildy started telling jokes in her sleep.
So what would you like to do this new fine morning?
I'll go bang on all their doors to wake them up.
Okay.
All right.
So what are we doing now?
Is it solid okay?
It's perfect, thank you.
All right.
Salad.
It's everyone giving me a hard time. Don't eat meat.
At least have some fruit or something. Is it a fruit salad?
The troops are gathering around the mall.
People,
Oh, that's a good point. You can't have oatmeal? You can't have gruel?
Don't know what the rule is.
Don't worry, neither do I.
hungry.
It's grueling.
Seeing that the troops are gathering around the mall outside. So, are we ready to leave?
now would be a good time.
Should we check in with the Duke before we do that? Or should we disappear into the night? Well, early morning.
I don't know that it's early anymore.
They're all. Well, everyone seems to be really focused on the whole portal to hell and the castle thing, so I feel like the port will be pretty empty.
Well, all right.
We're taking a portal? I thought thought we learned this lesson like thrice.
The port.
Oh.
Don't worry, we're getting on a boat.
I'll stick my head out the door.
Cedric, go get the Duke for us.
Would you like to just come down to the sitting room? I don't think the Duke's here. Prince, I saw him this morning, but he made me down at the war room as well.
Weren't they told to do what we asked them to do?
I didn't actually. They kind of just showed up.
Yeah.
No.
Did the Duke not return last night?
I don't know. I knew he did. I'm looking after you and sitting in the hallway, so I don't know.
Communication in this castle.
Fruit! Go get some fruit, Cedric!
Yes, right.
I'll bring it to the sitting room.
Yeah, let's go to the sitting room. At least that's a common area.
I don't know where it is. Cedric left.
Well, there's 3 of them.
There's 4 of them, and I yelled after him.
He was tired.
In the city.
I wonder why.
Give me an address.
All right, just go down to Hollow Street, and in Hollow Street it'll be the cobbler on Hollow Street. I know it sounds strange, cobbler, but yes, the cobbler.
Oh, you're getting some new
His
booties?
name is Wendell. Wendell, and be nice. If you're not nice, he'll give you the boot.
I get it.
Yeah.
That's clever.
Thank you, Mr.
What you wearing for
Fine.
them?
These are booties, not those.
Sorry. I forgot the diminutive form of the word boot is different.
Stop.
They were very small.
Shouldn't take long.
Yeah. You want to do that after the Duke or before?
Are we talking to the dude?
Well, we gotta check in after this mission. But also, I'll be quite honest. I don't know how I feel about just leaving after that.
I know how I feel about it. I know what I saw in that portal.
Yeah.
I know what Kiva saw in that portal, what she told us. And I know any second now it could all spill out.
You know that thing we
What about
fought
what I saw?
outside the portal?
Tears? You just repeated everything Kiva said. We all knew it.
But I saw it.
Okay. What we all saw.
All right.
Okay. Speaking of what we saw, I feel like
He's grouchy in the morning.
Well, I think that he just wants the things fixed.
I'm also just tense because at any moment that hell portal could unleash an army of demons.
like right here.
No, that's not what he's scared of. You're scared of the boat. That makes so much more
There
sense.
are many reasons I'm stressed.
You know, Dickie, you had a fork in the road, and neither fork
Of the conversation.
is good. But we have to pick one of them.
I'm going to the right, but I'd like us to make a choice before.
I kind of feel like, though, if we go back down there fresh, knowing what to expect, not fighting a spiky one first,
Will
I feel like we
Diamond
could take care of that one, the big one.
Oh, I feel like we can
I don't
do some
think
assistance
so.
if we are fireproof.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A little bit more prepared, a little less worse for the wear than we were when we bought it.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
We're doing enough. If we're going there to like pull a magic thread and like unmake the portal, that'll make sense.
that's what I'm saying.
You
I
don't kill
think.
portals.
I don't know how they're made, do you?
Well, sort of.
So
I forget.
There's an army of capable people down that can handle it. I feel like any offer of aid we have will just be a drop in the bucket.
I thought we were going to the sitting room.
I think we're all.
Yeah, we're walking through the halls.
Yeah, this is open conversation in front of the servants.
And they appear, at least their appearance of not paying attention is going to be good at.
They're very good at being wallpaper.
I forget what I was going to say.
Portals, not knowing how to make them, something along those lines. All I'm saying is there's a bunch of competent people down there, but clearly we're the most competent of this entire kingdom since we're the only ones to come back with ours intact. I kind of feel a little morally obligated, but I will defer to the rest of the group.
Speaking of their competence thing, didn't like their strongest priests and mages and fighters
Oh yeah, that's a thing. All of them are in hell.
and unalive?
Yeah, in hell.
Yes, but the second part matters too, because we might have to deal
Listen,
with them.
once you go through that smoke, it's hell.
And Hal has like a shockingly like serious moment with that.
You know, this is a lot better than when you said the serve and like serving was an option.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, if we're here helping them, then that leaves less us going out to find this crown and seeing what role it plays in everything.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you guys that.
What about the crown?
Oh, it was. I'll tell you later.
Does it matter?
I don't know.
That doesn't fill me with a lot of faith. But I mean,
I sort of had a dream last night, and sometimes my dreams are pictures of things that might happen.
you know, oddly, that's the most normal thing I've heard you say about your dreams and habits.
Oh, good.
It explains so much.
It is premonitions come true.
Oh, I don't know. I hope.
Truthful.
Oh, well,
Have you gotten to the future yet?
I can take us all into the future. Watch. Close your eyes.
Wait.
Everybody, close your eyes.
Oh. Close your eyes.
No.
Do
I
it.
can tell they're still open to kid.
And now open them. Look, it's later.
Shit.
I did.
Like,
I would have, but my eyes were closed.
You're one of the servants.
Oh, shut up! Cedric.
Are we there yet? Are we at the sitting room yet?
I think we're already in the sitting room at this point.
As you get closer, just a few feet away from the closed door, you hear from inside, "I blame Merlin for this. You should have been here, but your father was too impatient." And then the servants pause for a moment, like a little nervous, and then slowly open the door, creaks as it opens, and inside you see Duke Banfield Eldorath standing there. His whole countenance in a rage, his face red with anger, in full armor, and the prince also standing there in full armor, calmly facing his uncle. It seems like the two are having this heated exchange, except that the prince is obviously much calmer than his uncle. You also see Dorban, who is trying to like disappear in the cushions of the couch where he's sitting nearby. And as you walk in, the prince turns to you and draws his sword, and it glows as he draws it. And he says, "Oh, good, you're here. And we'll take a break. We'll see
I hate
what
the
happens
break.
next.
See you in a few
Be back
minutes.
in just a minute. Welcome back, folks. We are here
Hello.
with our heroes as they have entered the sitting room to find a very heated Duke Banfield Eldorath in conversation with the prince and Dorban, trying to become invisible in the sitting room, staying out of the whole thing that's going on, whatever it is that you've walked in on. So, as you enter, the prince pulling his sword, you see it glow, the blade glowing brightly as he does so. We've been waiting for you. He seems a little bit more intense.
Are you going to knight us or kill us?
Come forward.
Oh, either way, that would be the next words.
Hal just walks up.
The Duke just kind of stands back. He seems to be calming a little bit, just passively watching this whole thing. He says, friends here have done the kingdom a service. He's talking to the prince. So I'll agree to this. But we don't really know them. Don't really know what to expect of them, only that they lived, they went to the mall, they lived, and they came back with a fantastic story that we can't verify. I'm a little reluctant to allow this, as you are still the prince and not the king. But you show wisdom beyond your years. Do as you must. The prince seems a little bit annoyed and kind of half listening to his uncle as he beckons you forward. All of you kneel, please.
Hey, Neil.
How do you?
I hope it doesn't hurt.
Just kneel.
Just the front two is fine. He loves his sword.
That's harder than it could have been the other way.
It's extreme.
If you don't mind, I'd like to get through this. He's holding his sword. I decree the persons before us shall be charged with the sole objective of finding the king and the queen, no matter the cost, and even if it requires the remainder of their days to do so. And over each one of you, he waves the sword, placing it on your shoulder, over your forehead, and on the other shoulder, and then back to himself, and then repeating to each one of you as he goes along. And then as he steps back,
That's a cool thing that this is the puppet.
I dub thee royal questers by my divine right of the kingdom, and that no official of the kingdom will deny you aid or shelter when you show them the ring that I gave you earlier, that gives you protection, that has the emblem of my family, the crest, seal of my divine right upon it. All right, well, that's done. The Duke just kind of leans back. I understand you're going to find the Radiant's crown. The reason that I agreed with our prince here to dub you royal questers and to give you this benefit is because you are going to find this crown and are going to return with it once you've found it. I know a little bit about the lore of it, and it may be the one thing that can not only save our kingdom, but all the Western kingdoms, perhaps those far beyond, and perhaps even the king and the queen. So you have our leave and our support, and now you have the right, the royal questers, while you're in the Western kingdoms, to ask for aid or shelter during your travels.
Well, are you going to tell us what you know?
I've told you pretty much what I can. I don't understand the lore of the crown itself. I just know that it's powerful. And that is a thing of magic. There's beyond that, I know that it may have the power that we need to overcome the evil and the demons that may be soon pouring through these very gates. Anyway, fucking Merlin was here. He might have been able to tell you more, but he's not. I don't know where he is. We asked for him to come.
Probably killing innocent people's sisters.
What?
He killed my sister
Why would he do that?
because he's evil and I hate him and I'm going to kill him.
Before you do, let him take care of the demons. If he'll ever come and do it.
He's probably the one that called them.
I don't think so. He's been putting him away for some time now. Anyways, that being as it may, you're free to go. Do as you please. But don't forget, you're now bound to us. Bring back the crown.
Well, all right.
Hildy will turn and walk away.
The Duke and the Prince, they exit, and you hear them chatting about going to the war room to deal with the defenses. Dorben is sitting there. He finally pipes up. So that's a story. I heard you were back. I didn't expect all this. I'm glad you're back. They kept telling me you weren't coming back and not even bother with it. But you're here, and you had asked about passage on a ship to Courth, I believe.
It needed to be a big ship. Our centaur is afraid of little boats.
We all should be after what happened last time.
I was kind of fine with the boat, honestly.
I didn't even get hurt.
I don't
Yeah.
remember anything that happened because I was.
Then how do you know it was bad?
Do you have a ship, Dorben?
Yes, I do. It's the Queen of Tartessos, and it's at the dock now. They're leaving. Well, actually, I asked them to wait before they left. Paid them some coin to remain until I got back to them. I told them it was a matter of urgency. The prince, he was good enough to also give me a letter to that effect, and so as soon as you'd like to leave, they're ready to heave off. Now, I understand they are making a number of stops on the way, so it's not like a direct thing, and it's quite a long journey. I think it might take over a month to get there, but it's certainly quicker than if you were to go over land. Through the wilds, I think. So I've never been to the wilds, and it would certainly be more dangerous, probably. And it's not a huge ship, but it's much larger than a ship. It's not a boat, and I think you'll be comfortable.
I'll meet you all there.
Oh, you'll be fine, dear.
I'll go the long way. It'll be fine. I'm very fast. I'll meet you there in all.
You're not that fast.
I'm not.
Are you sure you can just run through?
A month on a boat. We were on a boat for what? Less than a day?
Yeah, we were hunting the thing. We knew where we were.
And that was on a lake. This is on a river, ocean. This is on moving water.
Think of it as
You
an
can't fathom.
adventure,
That's the
dear.
problem.
Fine.
I do have something to tell you all once we're on the ship and away from shore, so you can't change your mind.
That's what.
Now, Hildy, if you're going to spring something on somebody, you normally don't preface it that far in advance.
I mean, frankly, I'm still here to look after you, so if nothing you say will affect the outcome, I just won't like it.
I really don't have that obligation. I could.
No, you can't.
Hey,
You quit the group or stick.
you and I are bound together right now.
Why?
We owe a favor to a druid.
Oh,
It would be best if we stayed together.
No.
while you're on the boat, you might
I
get
mean, what if he comes and collects early?
to your weapons while you're on the boat. I don't know if he's gonna teleport to you or something.
I don't know. Can you imagine? Do that?
Well, I can't. I kind of skipped wizard. I kind of skipped school and.
I would hope you skipped wizard school.
I suppose it can't be helped. It looks like this is our course, so. Do we have anything we need to do in town before we leave?
We're royal
Wait,
questers
Wait, didn't
now.
your like
Your bones.
I'll be stopping at the cobbler on the way out. Yes.
Cobbler.
I don't know why it's a cobbler, but apparently he has some sort of can gift or pet things.
Oh. Ooh. Ooh.
So it's Captain Jacinia de Cresti, and it's an unusual crew, but but very, very capable. Just be on your best manners, if you would, because they wouldn't hesitate to throw you overboard if they felt you were rude or difficult to get along with or insulting. Sure, they have other rules that they might prompt them to do such a thing as well. So just be on your best behavior. That's all I'm saying.
As he's saying that, Kiva and Howl are both looking at Hildegard.
Oh, I was looking at you.
Oh, Kiva's looking at me. I'm looking at Hildegard.
I went on a longboat ride once. The Demeter. That
The Demeter.
was all you could eat.
I
Demeter.
heard it was all they could eat.
The great ship Demeter.
Sailing across the sea with 30 boxes of dirt and
I did bring some boxes along. I don't really remember what was in them.
I hear they're being snatched up by something in the sky.
oh no, this boat arrived on the shores of England.
I'll meet you all at the end of town. I'm going to the cobbler.
I'll go with you. It's part of our royal quest.
Sounds good. Was Lyon really Merlin?
Yes. By Merlin and some demons. Or maybe not. It may have been just a chaotic storm of magic. I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Pre or post breaking?
I don't know what you're talking about. All right.
So, what's the plan?
We're going to the cobbler.
Okay, everybody's gonna go to the cobbler? Okay.
And as we pass the footman, Hildy goes,
I'm a royal quester.
Oh, hey, that's great. Wow. You can say that anybody can roll questions anymore. Oh, please,
Hey.
madam.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I said it out loud. It's all right. It's all right. Norman escorts you out, walks with you out of the Duke's estate. And as you walk down into the city, you get to a point that there's a road leading off to the arena. And then the hollow road leads off down to the south. He's able to give you directions. And he just kind of stops, and I guess this will be it again, friends, for a while. I wish you the best of luck on your travels. Hopefully better luck than what you had last time. And I hope that you all return together this time, unlike the previous group. And that the city is back to normal. And that these dark times have passed.
Well, it was nice to meet you. Do you happen to know, just on the way out, do you know like a place that would sell weird weapons? Just odd weapons?
Weird weapons, eh?
Exotic.
That's a word. That's a fancier word.
I do know a smith that I always recommend that creates different types of weapons. He also has some for sale. He specializes in weapons from all over the world. That's why I like him so much. And he's not far off of Hollow Street on Leafbriar, and there you will find the smithy. His name is Tolbert, and tell him I sent you and he'll give you a discount.
Ooh. I want to go there. Let these two go get the
There's
cobbler.
a ship waiting on us.
That's why we're
Yeah, we're gonna do errands at the same
We
time.
should just go as fast as we can and not go shopping.
why?
Hildegard, how many good berries did you eat this morning?
She didn't have any. No, because we had breakfast.
Do you want to keep eating good berries, or do you want to eat other stuff for breakfast?
Like gnomes?
Gnomes could be included in the list. Probably not here, but yes, potentially.
I'm going to the cobbler. I
Okay.
suggest you guys hurry up.
Okay, so you two are going to the cobbler,
South entrance.
and you two are going to the.
We're going to
smithy?
smithy.
Okay, all right. So the cobbler is exactly what you expected to be. He makes shoes of various types of boots and that sort of thing. Not completely surprised when a centaur walks in, and immediately, looking at what you're wearing now, seems a little bit kind of quizzical look on his face as he looks at the leather wrap.
There's burnt bits on all the gilding of the leather that I'm trying to scrape off. It looks a lot more scuffed than when it started.
And he kind of chuckles at that. What are you looking for?
Somebody can repair something for me.
Some shoes, boots, those things on your feet. I could probably clean those up a bit. Those things look like they've been through hell.
Reserve bone.
You want to make a shoe out of it?
No, I just need it repaired.
Oh,
Told that you could repair
yeah. Let me see it.
So my
Takes it. You see him unwrap this felt sheet cloth and on the countertop, and he places it there. And he picks up both sides and brings them together slowly, and then stops and looks up at you. Oh, it'll be a gold.
That's fine. Do I get a Quester of the Realm discount?
I would say no. He said no officials. He didn't say any shopkeepers.
he just-
Greedy.
Just waves his hand over it, and you watch as the bone begins to stitch itself together and become one piece again. He takes it and he kind of goes ding, 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 ding. Taps it real hard. Ding, 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 ding.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it doesn't take.
The disregard.
Well,
That's true.
so happy questing. Whatever you're doing.
I'll take out a gold piece.
No, but greedy.
Oh, you're decent. Thank you.
What are you spending your gold on?
Weapons.
You're not, though. I found them.
I've already spent like 300 gold on a weapon. I just don't have the weapon yet.
Anything else at the cobbler?
Did you need to find anything going on?
No, I'm just following you around.
That's comforting.
Nothing for me.
Okay. So the smithy,
Think otherwise.
it's kind of like your typical smithy at first as you walk in. You can hear that there's the tink, tink, tink of metal being hammered in the back courtyard with the, we'll call it retail front. And there's a couple of younger men that seem to be manning the counter, and you see it on the walls, all sorts and shapes of weapons of different types. They look very exotic. From the curved swords of different thicknesses and widths to daggers and strange looking flails and maces and all kinds of things that you have a pretty good idea as to how they would be used if how it would anyway, to do their worst. But in ways that, in shapes that seem unusual to you perhaps. What are you looking for?
I know you said that I needed a weapon.
Yeah?
I don't
Oh,
carry in weapons.
yeah.
I go up to the smithy. Pardon, do you happen to have any claw-based weapon?
It's like tink, tink. Stops. Big man, bald. Yeah, he's human and dark brown eyes, kind of tan skin. Looks up. Claw, like a bear claw.
That's a good example, honestly.
Yeah, well, it's because I'm thinking of something particular.
Yeah, something to that effect. Like,
Yeah, we can do that. I have one. Well, I might have two. How many we got? It's two. Did the other fellow buy one? No. Talking to one of his little apprentices. Show him what we got. And the apprentice leads you over to this chest, and underneath the chest is a box. And he removes the chest and kind of gets somebody to help him move this chest. It's rather heavy. And underneath is a box, and the box looks like it's kind of crushed in a little bit. It's about this big. And roll. think I want to say. Just roll an insight.
That is 22.
Good. Looking at this box, you can see it's very exotic in nature, but it's clearly like anything handmade, but not very well made. And it looks like it was kind of like patched together over time, as if it's been in use over many, many, many years and gone many places perhaps. And as they kind of pry the lid of it open, you see what appear to be 2 gleaming claws of metal inside. Ooh. And the apprentice picks up one and he said, "You know how to use this? You place your hand inside and and then you grab the strap and you can, if you push, you hold tightly and then the claws extend outward. And then when you let it go, it releases it so that you can press them back in. But you got to push them back down on something and it resets the springs."
Oh.
What kind of maintenance does this require?
A bit of oil, clean the blood off.
Howell is incredibly jealous right now.
And you can see it's not his metal, but it's leather, so that it fully, then you can strap it, tighten up around your hands if you like. They're not cheap though. He wants 200 gold for them.
Do you remember the guy's name from the early?
Oh, Dorban.
Dorban.
We have been sent by Dorban. He recommended your services quite highly.
I'll go tell him. He goes back to the smith, who's back beating out some armor. You see him just talking back, nodding his head. And the boy comes back. 150.
Fair.
More fair. Question, who's his name? Talbot?
Oh, Albert.
Talbot, sorry. I'm quite bad with names. I used to only know 3 names, and now I know at least 6. Question,
And he pulls out the great axe.
you guys work with Dorban quite a bit, I imagine. Is this anybody in here's particular handiwork?
And I'll hold out the great axe that I took from the armory.
That particular, those weapons obviously have seen a lot of use.
Yeah.
So they're not new by.
No.
They're seasoned, let's say.
Cast iron skin.
Not like the chickens I ate last night.
He takes the great sword. I mean, this is a young fellow. He's kind of slight, but he seems to have some strength as he takes your great sword and says, "Come on, let's go talk to Talbot." And he kind of walks over to Talbot. Talbot seems to have some respect for the boy, for whatever reason, and he just stops what he's doing. He takes it. And he seems to hold it reverently. It's been a long time since I made this. Yeah, long time ago. Where'd you find out? Dorban, I guess, gave this to you?
We got it from the armory room.
Yeah.
Yes, it served quite well.
I imagine it has.
And I pull out one of the spikes as well.
Killed a demon.
And I put it down.
And what was made of that?
And his eyes just grow large looking at this spike. Do you want me to do something with that?
Well, not to go down on your craftsmanship too much, but this particular fellow was resistant to the strikes. And I was wondering if having the source material of the armor of the creature, I wonder if you could do something to make it a little more oomphy if we should run into one of those again.
I see what you mean.
Especially since the Crown might be gearing up for a full-on war against unknown numbers of that particular kind of creature.
That is curious indeed. And he picks up the spike and looks at it. I have to have someone with the means of enchantment. see what they could do with it. You want to leave it with me for a few days?
Oh, absolutely. And I'll do you one better.
And he pulls out 2 more of the 5 that he has.
Here's 2 more. So if something happens, don't feel the need to be too delicate with it.
All right. So you can leave him the sword?
I'm gonna leave the great axe.
The great axe?
Yes.
Okay.
The great axe and those 3 spikes.
Okay, all right. And so basically what you're asking him to do is give it some ability to enchant it. So that it can,
The idea is to have an idea of the type of armor that we'd be fighting, and if there's anything he can do to accommodate the weapon in
right,
that
so
regard.
yes, to give it some magical property.
Yeah.
To cut through it.
Or bypass the resistance.
How is gonna have weapon commissions? Just
I have a lot of pending orders.
You do?
Listen, he's got one track mind, and right now the track is in weapon.
You better write them all down so you don't forget them.
I got him. I know, Dread. And Talbot.
Albert the Smith. So yeah, he'll have to work with whoever he works with to help him with enchantments and that sort of thing. Obviously, this is something that's going to take some time because spiky demon spikes are not something that most people have seen, and just working through that whole thing is going to take some time.
But frankly, you can make some good money off of that selling to the army.
Maybe.
R&D is very important.
And he doesn't ask for any money. He doesn't ask for any kind
Yeah.
of deposit or anything, considering you're leaving the spikes with him. You know Dorman, and it seems like you're creating a rapport with the fellow. Anything else to the smithy?
I think that about does it. Have you paid for your equipment? Nice.
Are you buying them then?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I have trained with most of the weapons here. You're not the only one with the training for it.
Yeah.
Well, Njord taught me, and I don't really want to spoil the memories I have of that, but claws are something I've fought with longer than anything else.
Yeah.
This I could use.
Excellent. And if you can't turn into a bear, you're at least that much less useless. I apologize for that particular use of word, but I could not think of a synonym.
I don't appreciate the tone, frankly.
And it's all meant in good spirit.
And he gives her like a little too hard pat on the back.
Go with the hitch, turn around, give you a look.
Oh,
So
sorry.
these claws are designed to allow your hands to be useful. So you can wear them and still use your hands to pick things up and grab things, and the claws are retractable, so that they just have to be pushed in after you hold them.
I got Wolverine claws. That's not what I was expecting, but I'm totally cool with
Okay.
that.
So this is what they had.
Yeah.
So for what it's worth, and as far as the statistics, if you're using 2 of them, it's obviously you're going to not going to be proficient unless you have dual wield fighting style or something of that nature, dual wielding or 2 weapon fighting. Otherwise, you're just not going to have the proficiency on your offhand, and then you'll be proficient as you would in a simple weapon on your main hand. Damage for each of them is 1d6,
Yep.
and your normal attack bonuses would
Yeah.
apply.
Is it finesse? Is it finesse?
Yes. So actually, they're simple. So.
I mean, it could be both. That's what.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that. Does that work with your?
Strength works better, frankly, but
Barbarian.
Yeah, it's not really. I mean,
Barbarian.
I'm not going to say it's finesse. I'm just going to say it's simple.
yeah.
So we'll go with that.
If I ever need to borrow them, that's fine.
Oh, I'll give you 1 Wolverine.
I thought I'd seen them in the player's handbook, and I'm going to have to go back and take a look and see if they're in there somewhere. But I
Do the monks have something weird like
Oh,
that?
is this like a third party equipment?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Don't the monks have something similar?
Yeah,
I
maybe.
feel like they're
Maybe in previous.
maybe.
You said you did a lot of Pathfinder, so that might be.
So you guys are done with your shopping excursion at this point?
Wait, that's it.
I think I'm quite happy with how things are
Okay.
at the moment.
And I will thank Talbot for his accommodation. And hopefully I'll see you very soon. And hopefully you and I have something really cool to talk about next time.
So to
might.
be honest, I don't think we'll see him any sooner than like 2 months.
Yeah, potentially, but hey, we went to hell and back in like an afternoon.
So,
Also, don't worry about like eating on the boat. That's what the good berries are for, so we don't have to worry about the rations.
Protein.
This is protein. It's magic protein.
It's magical fruit, mate.
berries aren't quite beans, but hey, you know, they can be whatever you want.
Flesh of the fruit is not the same as flesh of the animal.
So you guys meet up on the street on the way. You're heading to the port at this point, or somewhere else?
I think I'm ready.
I think so. Now that Hildy's hurried everybody along, she just remembered that she needs something.
Classic elderly move.
What does Hildy need?
I forgot something back at the castle, I think.
Oh,
Or
Hildegard.
at the Duke's. I don't remember.
Oh, that's Mr. Rabbit. I mentioned last week or the week before that when we get a chance, I wanted to look for that. So,
Jog my memory. Let's see.
and I figure if we're going to be on a boat for a month, I'll have a chance to figure it out.
You could. Any general store would have
Okay.
that, along with the kit that's
Okay.
required. So for it's not very expensive. I think it's like 7 gold.
All right.
For the kit and everything.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
yeah, that's not a rare thing necessarily. It's
You're gonna poison us.
Hildy wraps it in a cloth, oil, so nobody can see what it is.
okay.
She's gonna be cooking gnomes.
She already knows how to do that.
When you arrive at the port, there are dozens of ships under various flags. This is a rather large port. And it looks like the dozens of ships that you see, at least 3 times that many could dock here if they were all in, you know, if all the docks were taken. What are you gonna do?
Find someone that looks like they work here.
Well, there's various sailors. It looks like they're loading, offloading cargo. There's vendors around.
You! Where can I find the Queen of Hertessos?
Are you asking a vendor, a sailor, or just anybody on the street?
Some vendor.
Okay, all right.
Is it the queen or the dog?
The queen, Jacinia de Cresty.
That's the captain.
Yes,
captain.
that's a person that we can articulately ask for.
You find a fruit vendor, the closest one, and you're asking.
Do you know where I can find the Queen of Hertessos? It's a ship.
Well, I imagine you'll find somewhere here at the dock.
Well, I know
Or
that.
in Tartessos. You could check there. The Queen of Tartessos, you say? Yeah. Would you like an apple?
Well, not anymore. You weren't very helpful.
Well, I don't know. Why don't you ask the dockmaster? Yeah, it's he's right over there.
All right.
Through that door, right over there, that little shack there.
Okay.
There's dockmaster over the top of it. The really big letters. There's a sign that says dockmaster, not too far
I'll
away.
head there.
Okay.
Queen of Hortessos?
Restricted to this area.
No,
As we walk, though,
It's all of them.
I'll just like to look around to see if I can see the name printed on the side of a ship as we're walking over.
That's a good point.
Oh, did that particular ship?
No, as we're walking past to the dockmaster, I would just like to cast look and see if I can find the.
Roll perception.
I'm going to cast my eyes
Yes.
upon this
I'm gonna
ship.
cast my gaze.
Yeah. Oh, that's a 10.
Yeah.
I just want to know how easy it would have been if we just like.
You pass a few I mean, the ships aren't right there. You know, you're at the top of the dock, and you're gonna go down a bit. So some of them are hard to read from your perspective, your angle as you walk by. You don't see any that appear to have the letter structure that you would expect. But you're close to the dockmaster shack as well. If you want to go in there, or you can take a walk down the long dock. It goes both ways.
Like Hildy. I'll go to the dockmaster's shack.
Sure, the here would love to take a long walk on the short pier.
There you go.
You made the joke, but I would have made it otherwise.
It's actually a stone building. It's not so much a shack. And as you walk in, you can see that there are several men and women sitting at this small desk, recording in ledgers and so on and so forth. And then there's a man, kind of portly but very well dressed, and you can see that the entire place is basically got this nautical decor. Stuff that looks like it's been washed up and thrown out, and it's been just hung on the wall. In a aesthetically pleasing way, at least. And as you walk in, few eyes, turn to look at you. You see there's a few people that are sitting next to or standing next to some of these scribes that are scribing in journals and ledgers and so forth, discussing inventories and that sort of thing. And there's a young woman that is sitting behind one of the nearest tables. Would you like to have a seat? Were you declaring any of your cargo?
No, we're looking for a ship.
Okay, sure. What's the name of the ship?
The Queen of Hertesos.
Queen of Hertesos.
Yes, that.
Oh, yes, they're here. Definitely here. Will you be embarking on the ship? Will you be taking cargo to it,
We're going on a ride.
The passengers?
Yes.
Oh, lucky you. All right. Anyway, just take a right out of here when you go, and about halfway down, you'll see number 45. Take a left, obviously, and walk down a bit, and you'll see, before too long, very obviously, the only ship there is the Queen of Hertesos.
All right. Thank you.
Good luck.
Is there anything you can tell us about Captain Descendant?
Yeah, I was about to ask.
She's a lovely lady.
Insight.
Me too. Oh, never mind.
Which will bring it to.
Doesn't matter. Nat 20. You get the distinct impression that there's a combination of fear, respect, fear, and definitely elusiveness, as she clearly doesn't want to be overheard saying anything derogatory. Yeah, fear and respect for the most part.
I kind of just lock eyes with her and give a slow nod.
Must be on the tip of our hooves.
She just nods with you.
Owl's gonna take out 2 gold pieces, put on the counter.
Thank you.
Okay.
Pulls it away.
And he's just gonna stare at him for a moment.
Her.
Sorry.
I get to the ball.
My apologies.
Sorry, you said portly man or something.
No, that was the guy that.
Right, and my brain is like
Yeah.
still connecting those, or is connecting this person to
Yeah,
that.
he was the one that was kind of walking around and keeping an eye on everybody. Yeah, this young woman is
Yeah.
a little bit creepy. A bit creepy. Thank you for the coin, though.
I don't mean to be creepy. I apologize. I'm not very good at social graces. I was attempting to bribe you to tell us more information.
Oh,
he says that.
oh, why did you say so? What would you like to know?
Is there anything in particular about her that we need to watch out for? Any embarrassing stories or
Oh, yes.
dangerous rumors?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, there are many.
What's your favorite one?
My favorite one is when people that take passage on a ship ask too many questions, and then they get out to sea and she throws them overboard. That's my favorite one. I don't know if it's true or not, but you know, that's the 2 gold piece version.
Guys, I think she might throw one of us overseas. Don't tell the kid.
I'm not here.
Yes.
Don't tell the kid. I mean, thank you, young lady.
You're welcome.
Billy's gonna leave and start walking.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Takira. If you fall overboard, I'll pull you back on.
I know I can remember that still.
Damn, that was 2 gold points. Shit.
If you want, we could tie more barrels to you.
I don't think that worked well last time. I'd rather just not think about it. I'm gonna stay indoors. I'm still.
Oh, it's a bigger ship. We could tie you to the mast.
No, that wouldn't work.
Stay in my
Like,
cabin
he's
until
too
it's
long.
Hey,
He's too long.
we can put you up in the crow's nest. That makes you feel better.
Oh, look, the boat.
Oh.
As you get down to where this Pier 45, as you get down there and you see probably about 4 ships could dock along this pier. There's only one there, and you see clearly that it says Queen of Tortesos. But even as you get close, you can see that there are many sailors, crew members, moving around on the deck. Probably 5 or 6. All of them female. All of them wearing long, flourishing dresses that are kind of tailored and then pulled up around their knees so that they're almost like poofy pantaloons. And then they're wearing this almost like jackets over the top with the frills coming off the cuffs and around the collar. And they all have either long auburn or blonde or dark brown hair. All of them, as you get closer, appear to be very beautiful women. And they all carry rapiers and daggers on wide leather belts. And you hear the call of one particular woman that stands on the elevated after the ship, just kind of calling out orders from here one to another. And the woman, as beautiful as she is, as elegantly and snappily dressed as she is, has the tongue of a sailor, as she refers to the women that are working the rigging and preparing the ship to disembark at some point. Not really communicating in a very pleasant fashion. Come on, you hoes, get over there, pick up the rope, bring it on, get on. We have still barrels that need to be brought on deck. What's going on? Bring them up, get them tied down. You know when these idiots are going to be showing up from Dorbin, the arena fool who has paid me to waste my time at this fucking dock all day. We should be well on our way on the seas now. She just is going on.
I'm gonna break
As you guys are growing.
rupture with a crisp bite of an apple.
Well, you guys are
Oh,
still like
Oh, okay.
30, 40 feet away from the ship at this point when you're hearing her just yelling at the top of her, just venting at the top of her. Yeah, she's like venting at the top of her lungs to any that would hear.
We're the fucking idiots.
Well, it's about time.
I like her. She's feisty.
And she just motions you, come aboard, bring your horse and talk. This is gonna be fun.
Just get it out of your system.
All right, ladies, look who we've got on board, a VIP. You all know you're sleeping on deck, no pooping on the deck. All right, hang it over the side like every other humanoid here. All right. Oh shit.
Don't worry, he'll swab it.
We can hang you over the side. Whatever works for you. Sometimes we need the ballast. All right, come on deck. I'm just fucking with you. Come on deck. We're easy to get along to. Don't mess with my girls. None of you. All right? Don't bother the other passengers. Don't create any trouble. If you do, I'll hang you over the side. All right? If you murder anyone, cut you to pieces and feed you to the sharks. All right? In the event that we're boarded, you gotta use your little girly weapons that you have on you to help us out, all right? As best you can. Defend the cargo, defend the ship as best you might. All right? I know you won't hold up like my girls will, but, just do what you can. We'll walk you through it. We've dealt with them before. From Tartessos.
Oh, I know someone. He's not very welcome in Tartessos anymore.
Oh, who's that?
Oh, Francisco Portfolio. I don't know his name. He stole the Pirate King's daughter.
Francisco Portfolio. Yes, I know him. I know him very well. His wife is very lovely.
He is, but he kissed my hand. It was very nice.
I imagine he did. Children are nice too. I like them as well. And we got one cabin on this ship. Unfortunately for you, they're in it.
Oh. I'll go say hello.
You like?
All right.
So can we leave now? Or is any of your friends still coming
They
in?
dawdle. You should yell at them.
Who?
If you have a whip, that would be good.
These?
Yes, all three of them are
Very
dawdlers.
nice that you said that. When we were almost at the fort, you turned around and went back to the general store.
Yeah, it's if anybody was delaying our arrival, it was certainly our grandmother, our dearest grandmother.
Yeah, she looks a bit. You might need to
Old.
meat on you. Oh, yeah, but bones.
We
You
do
need-
our best.
Okay, you should feed her more. Feed her more if you can. Anyway, we'll be leaving then, if it's all right with you.
All right.
Very good. So, as she starts barking orders to the women that seem very, very efficient, very, very good at what their jobs on the ship, shouting orders, but doesn't really need to seem to do so, as they all seem to know exactly what needs to be done to heave off and go. Waiting to get a little bit out into the water before lifting the sails. And I've got a ship for you.
Hooray.
It's not the largest ship, certainly by any means, but it is seaworthy.
fishing boat?
At least it seems
Oh,
so.
we're getting a schooner.
Do we get to see this?
You do. And it's got a mounted ballista on the front.
Oh my god!
Large cabin, compliments of Hildy.
Look, the crow's nest. That's where Takiro goes.
Just,
And she stands up here with a couple.
That is a. Oh.
yeah.
And there we are.
If there's 6 of them, then if they were interested in good berries, I could provide good berries.
Okay.
That is a full-on angel.
That's really well crafted.
So as the ship starts to pull away, you notice that among them all, one of the sailors he has long hair, is a man, and he's probably in his 50s. The long blondish hair has a few gray streaks through it. Looks like he dyes it. He's wearing regular, pants and jacket and still the ruffled shirt underneath. And he seems to be perhaps the navigator in terms of the way that he's acting in the spyglass and how he's just kind of looking at checking the weather and the conversation that he's having, the keywords that he's using that, with the captain to indicate that he is discussing with her the course that they'll be traveling. He doesn't seem to pay you guys any attention, but you notice that there's some movement in his poopy shirt for a moment, and then out of this his tunic climbs a tiny little monkey, just poking sitting on his shoulder, moving along his back to the other side, down his leg, just almost like mimicking or pantomiming some of the movements that this particular fellow's making. He's got himself a tiny little wooden spyglass. Obviously, he couldn't see through it, but kind of puts it up to his eye once in a while as his master does so. And nobody seems to be paying much attention to it, as obviously they're all used to it. But a very unusual sight to see them working together in this fashion.
One day I'm going to learn the spell Awaken.
No,
I'm talking to the monkey.
no, then he'll have problems. He's perfect the way he is. We are not allowed to let this NPC die.
Well, the NPC.
No, the monkey's an NPC.
Your figure's up on the ship wherever you like. What?
Down below, just watch, looking at the
Thank you.
monkey.
Are you looking at the monkey?
The one that goes below deck is possible.
I'll be in the back.
Well,
Up here?
yeah.
With the captain.
She didn't mind you coming up.
I'm just staring at the monkey.
Yeah,
So much
so they get underway. From down below, I mean, you can see that just below there's this metal grate. And you see there's a lot of cargo in the cargo hold below, and then you can hear the sound of excited children inside, and then the cabin. And as the door bursts open, you can see a dark hallway that goes down into toward the back of the ship underneath the where the drive mechanism is of the for the ship. What looks like there's probably 2 or 3 cabins in that hallway, and the children come bursting out. 2 of them are boys, and then the third one's a girl. The girl is small. She's probably 5 or 6 years old. The boys look like they're within a year of each other, and they look like to be perhaps young teenagers, maybe 15 and 14, something of that nature. Dark skin, dark hair, like tan skin, dark hair, pulled back, very long, but pulled back tight, and they're wearing very, very fine silken clothing. They're not armed except for a dagger, and the 2 boys, the young girl is wearing a pretty little emerald dress, and it's very frilly, and it's got lots of ruffles around the bottom of it, and she's got these sensible shoes that she can run around in, but they look as if they're brand new and hardly scuffed, and soon to be very scuffed as they go trouncing onto the deck. Oddly enough, the women just kind of work around, the women sailors work around them, and there's not a peep from the captain herself as they kind of go weaving in and out of all the other sailors here and there. What are you guys doing?
Oh, only a month or so.
Looks like standard child behavior.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I'm going below deck.
There's no below deck for you to go to.
The storage room?
The cargo,
They can't go on the cargo?
not unless you pulled up the grate and jumped down in there.
She told you were going to be on the deck.
I know, I don't want to.
Yeah. So I mean, there are places to go. You get the aft, the fore and the aft, that you can move around on. You have the all the sailors are basically busy, just preparing the ship for the voyage. No itinerary has been given at this point, and it seems like the navigator and the captain are just kind of focusing on just getting out of the port and into into the Lao itself in a southerly direction. And as you're kind of just getting acclimated to the roll of the ship on the sea, it's a little bit choppy right now. We'll roll constitutions later. The door opens again to where that leads to the cabins, and you see a dark-haired man, kind of short, dark hair, not like the younger ones. Again, that olive tan skin. He's not muscular, but he's lean, and he looks like he's well built. And again, wearing the finery of the tunic and the silken tunics and the fine boots, leather boots that look like they're polished to, perfection. And as he walks out, casting his eyes around, immediately they land on Hildy. Yeah, it looks like my thought today, friend, as we meet again.
I must have followed you, Francisco.
I know you could not resist my beauty too much. that you could be alone away for that long. I'm used to this. It's like ducks following another duck. I think you might have mentioned something about ducks when we met last time. I think one of your friends were also covered in urine.
He was covered in demon slobber.
Oh, yes, that's what it is, yes. I've forgotten. But, as you can see, I have not changed at all. I am still the beautiful man that I was when you first met me.
Oh, Kiva!
I holler down.
Let me introduce you to the most beautiful man in the world.
I go up to Hildy.
No, he's down there with
Oh,
you.
he's down here with me. Oh, yeah,
Yeah, he's just like looking up. You can see, Hildy.
I was not paying attention to him at all. I was like blocking it out.
I'm gonna
It's like
make a
when,
wave too.
Okay.
it's like when he
alright.
flirts with the Kier. I don't know. I try not to notice.
He looks over at Dakir and just kind of nods. Oh, very unusual creature you are. I've seen some like you before. As I've been to the Isles, I've got these many times. Have you been to Tartessos?
Something doesn't flirt.
When have we met?
She thinks you
I don't recall you. You must not have been very important.
It's not as important.
But it's in Lyons Gate, or maybe it was Tartessos. What I've met many centaur, but your face does not stick out for any reason whatsoever.
It's okay.
Well, it's the plainness of you, but it is fine. I understand. It's a curse that you must bear, I imagine, similar to my own.
It's so shit.
As long as you don't have the deck.
But this red-haired beauty, is she with you? She must be a druid, I would imagine, by the naturalness of yourself.
That means hairy armpits.
I have.
There's a lot you can do with that. Don't be ashamed.
I got some training with the druids. Yeah.
I was talking about the armpits, but that is fine.
I mean, you know.
Don't stutter. I understand that you're a bit intimidated by my appearance. As I am probably the most beautiful man. No, I am most certainly the most beautiful man that you have ever seen. Do not deny it. I know it's hard.
I'm very happily married, and I
It's not about
politely
it.
request you stop talking to me in that tone.
That is the only tone that I have. You will learn
I have.
that it's okay to shed yourself upon me.
Oh, you.
I don't mind. It happens most frequently. But be
Hey guys, did you see the monkey over there? I'm sorry, am I interrupting something?
What are you?
I'm Howell.
You're a howl.
Yes.
I see. You're a very big man.
You are,
My wife would be quite impressed with your physique. In that way. Once you go Francisco Portfolio, you don't go back.
once you go where?
Anywhere, just me.
Francisco baby tomorrow?
Why would you even think that?
Well, I don't know.
I think you don't even know what you're saying.
I don't even think you know what you're saying.
I have a feeling that this one has some derangement in his head.
I think
Sorry,
this
I
one's
want to talk to
delusional.
My red-headed friend. This is a very long voyage, and my cot has room for two. My cot has room for three.
I want to practice. I just got these claws. Want to help me practice with them?
Reading the room right now, looking around, looking around at the crew,
Chop up
the
her
captain, Eva, Francisco. It's gonna be a long month.
The captain was smiling, just watching this whole thing goes on. You see this big smile on her face, like, this is gonna be fun. And that's where we're gonna end it. We'll see where this train wreck goes.
Oh no.
Thank you all very much. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.
Ta-ta.
Maybe I'll die next week.
Maybe.